And we start at 6 tonight with an Eyewitness News exclusive in the Chicago migrant crisis. A small group of city leaders touring Texas, trying to learn lessons to help ease the burden here in Illinois.
And tonight, our very own Liz Nagy is in Texas as well, and she's getting a first-hand account now of the challenges being seen down there. ABC 7 is the only Chicago television station covering this trip, and she joins us now live from San Antonio with what she has found out so far. Liz?
Ravi, this is a shelter run by a private charity. There are hundreds of asylum seekers here just waiting. Several of the migrants we've spoken to are trying to make their way to Chicago. Some of them have personal connections to the city, some of them don't, but they are looking for a better life. And now city leaders are on the ground here in Texas trying to make clear the reality that awaits them. It's a line that's rarely without a wait. People with papers in hand on yet another stop to what they hope will be a better life. This is simply a space to sleep for a few days in transit through San Antonio, and Catholic Charities here is paying for it.
We have received over 220,000 people in 1 year. So for us, we don't have enough resources to help everybody.
Antonio Fernandez now runs Catholic Charities in San Antonio, but spent 20 years of his career in Chicago. Many of the migrants he helps feed at this San Antonio center are asking to make their way 1,200 miles north to his former home.
When I spoke to the CEO of Chicago a couple of weeks ago, they asked me, please not to refer people to San Antonio, to Chicago, and I did say, absolutely. We communicate with the people, so if you go to Chicago, you're not going to have a place to stay, it's going to be hard for you, it's going to be cold. But again, we cannot force people. People choose freely where they want to go.
So you have helped communicate to people. Chicago is full.
Absolutely.
A small delegation of Chicago and Illinois state leaders spent the day in El Paso in part trying to communicate that very message. 2 aldermen are now bound for San Antonio with tangible changes they believe could help migrants and Chicago.
We need to make sure, which is why this trip is important, that we're working with officials at the border to prepare migrants if they are coming to Chicago.
But there is a PSA that is played in which they tell you what to expect, some of the ups and downs and the frustrations. So they gave us the invitation to send out a video to let them know, hey, if you come to Chicago, this is what you can expect.
Here, people wait in the Texas sun to continue their passage to another overcrowded city. Chicago's traveling delegation is now making their way to San Antonio. Tomorrow morning, they are scheduled to meet with leaders here with the Department of Human Services as well as Catholic Charities here in San Antonio. They are trying to make better coordination between groups here in Texas and in Chicago and try and slow that flow of migrants. We're live in San Antonio. Liz Nagy, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
And Liz and our team will continue their reporting for the next few days. Liz, thank you.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC 7 Chicago Eyewitness News.